Hello, I am Bjorn, and welcome back to Bjorn Does Movies, where I do movies. Today we are going to be doing the final part of the Suicide Squad video, the thing I've been working on for almost a year now. Yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. This is the part I've been most excited to do. This is the big third act action extravaganza. This is where a lot of the characters are going to bite it. This is where all the fun is going to be. So I've been looking forward to this quite a bit. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, this is part four of the series, and so if you have not watched part 3, 2, especially 2 and 3, those are the actual story beats, or part 1, which introduces my characters and why I've used them, you might want to circle back and go watch those real fast. Just put a bookmark in this, or whatever you call it on YouTube, and come back later. Remember, if you are a new viewer or you're not subscribed, like and subscribe. That really helps out the channel. I'm really trying to build up a community here, and I'm working on some other stuff. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going to pick up right where we left off. The Justice League has just appeared through a portal and have killed a lot of the cultists, and they killed Crazy Quilt, our fake villain. Got you, nerd. Now we are going to see the Suicide Squad's reaction. We're going to see Acid, and he's just going to say, "Oh, fuck. Is that the fucking Justice League?" Which I think is an apt reaction to the Justice League miraculously appearing from a portal and killing people. Metallo's going to say, "It's more than that. It's the Man of Steel at long last," fulfilling his one character trait as promised. He's going to run right towards Superman. Metallo's going to yell, "Superman!" We're going to see Superman turn to face him. Superman's going to kind of raise an eyebrow. "Metallo, I forgot that this is a new world. I haven't killed you yet." Metallo's going to say, "That's right. Your greatest rival has come to face you." Superman's just going to laugh. Then he's going to look past Metallo at Acid, Flatline, and Dorothy. Superman's going to say, "You brought backup. Lantern, take care of the others." Lantern is going to say, "As you command." And the Green Lantern is going to turn to face Dorothy, Flatline, and Acid. Dorothy's going to say, "Oh no." And Acid's going to say, "Run." Dorothy nods her head and starts to turn to go. But Flatline stays. Acid's going to say, "You too." Flatline's going to say, "No. You need me for this." Green Lantern's going to start to float up in the air. You know, as he does when he surrounds himself with the green armor and floats. And as he floats, when he gets close enough, Acid is going to shoot at him with the last of his acid in his tank, which is running low. It lands and sizzles harmlessly against his green force shield. Green Lantern's gonna say, "Really? Is that all? Funny. I can play too." A green RPG is gonna appear in his hands, made from his ring. Flatline's gonna say, "Dive!" And both her and Acid are gonna jump through the nearest window, which happens to be like a burger restaurant. It could be like Whataburger, Burger King, McDonald's, or Daily Burger off-brand. It doesn't really matter. We're going to see the RPG blow up behind them, and we're going to see Flatline get nailed by shrapnel. We'll see blood soak into her clothes as she lies on the floor. Acid survives, it doesn't get hit, and he manages to jump behind the counter. Green Lantern's going to see him and floats into the restaurant. A minigun is going to appear in his hands. This is the classic Green Lantern weapon. And he's going to start to blow up the counter with it. We're going to see Acid crawling beneath the bullets as they rip all around him. You've seen this kind of shot before with wood spraying everywhere and all that. And he's going to crawl into the kitchen where he's going to look for a weapon. He's going to open a closet, and we'll see that it's stuffed with a large amount of ketchup and mustard bottles. He's going to run a longing hand across one. And he's going to say, "I said I'd never go back." As he starts to grab bottles, we're going to cut to Metallo and Superman. I'm just going to say they're really going at it. I'm not going to get too detailed with this fight. This is a knuckle dragger. They're just going to be punching each other constantly, using all their tricks and techniques against each other. We'll say Metallo fires one of his lasers, and Superman blocks it with his laser sight. Superman's going to leave dents in Metallo's armor as he punches. Metallo's going to open up his chest cavity to unveil the kryptonite. Superman's going to fall to the floor as it shines on him. Metallo's going to punch him so hard he flies into a wall. As he's flying into the wall, this is one of my favorite jokes in the whole movie, by the way. He's going to fly right by Tin-Eyed Man, who's peering around the corner, if you remember, with his hands. And his arms are going to get taken off at the wrist. As Superman goes flying by, we'll say the rest of the team scatters and hides behind cover as Tin-Eyed Man starts screaming, "I'm blind!" and yelling in pain everywhere. We'll say he falls over and blood spurts from his arms. Superman's gonna float up from where he landed, and as he makes his way back, he's just gonna punch Tin-Eyed Man so hard that his face explodes. Super visceral and horrible, and without any mercy. We're gonna pan over to where Clock King, Harley Quinn, and Jog are hiding. Jog's gonna say, "We have to get the fuck out of here. This shit is above our pay grade." And Clock King's gonna say, "No, if we run, Waller will blow our bombs." Jog's gonna say, "Fuck, what are we supposed to do?" Clock King's gonna say, "Fight." Jog, you fought the Flash before, right? And Jog's gonna say, "Once. How do you think I ended up in prison?" Clock King's gonna ask how long he could distract him. Jog's gonna ask if he's serious. Clock King's gonna say, "I'm gonna need like a minute, and I'm gonna need the Flash to run in a straight line." Jog's gonna ask him if he wants a hand job too. Clock King's gonna say that he's serious. And Jog's gonna say, "I guess that if he really focused, he could maybe do it." He's gonna ask Clock King what he intends to do. Clock King's gonna say, "Kill him." And then he's gonna turn to Harley Quinn and ask, "I read your file. How would you like a shot at Wonder Woman?" Harley Quinn's gonna say, "I'd like that a lot. I think I can kill that man-stealing slut." Now, this is gonna be another thing that I'm not really gonna flesh out too much, but I'm gonna mention it here. In the comic books, Harley Quinn was a romantic interest / villain for Green Lantern, which tends to be a common trait with Green Lantern. She's not the one from the fridge. That's a different girlfriend. And so I was like, okay, we've got Harley Quinn, we've got Green Lantern. Let's just keep that canon. So in the canon of this movie, and it could be the canon of the DCEU, I guess, I don't know. They haven't really done Green Lantern or any of the Justice League, so this is going to be canon just for this. Harley Quinn used to date Green Lantern until he left her for Wonder Woman. And now Harley Quinn has a grudge against Wonder Woman, and we're going to get to see that play out here. Clock King, of course, knows that because he read her file. Clock King's going to say, "Good." He stops and looks around. He's going to ask what happened to the others. Jog's going to point and say, "Tin-Eyed Man is over there." We're going to cut to his now dead body covered in blood. Clock King's going to say, "Not him. The others, Frost and Harley." Harley Quinn's going to say, "Harley went after Blockbuster. I don't know about Frost." Clock King's going to say, "Useless. Alright, let's go Task Force X." We're going to cut to Harley Quinn and Blockbuster. Harley's going to say, "Big guy, it's time to go." Blockbuster's going to thrust his hands up and point. "Blockbuster!" as he's continued to be excited by the Blockbuster logos all around him. Harley Quinn's going to say, "I know, buddy, Blockbuster, but we really gotta go." As she says that, we see Blockbuster's head grow blue until ice crystals start to form on him. He's going to fall to the ground. Behind him we can see Killer Frost. Before Harley can react, Frost snags her earpiece and crushes it. It's like one fluid motion. Harley's going to say, "What the hell, Frosty? You killed him!" Killer Frost is going to say, "I'm sorry it had to be you, Harley." But the signal just went live again. Killer Frost touches her earpiece. We're going to cut to Belle Reve. "Waller, we have signal again. We're getting a transmission from Killer Frost." Waller's going to say, "Give me audio." We're going to hear Killer Frost. She's going to be doing her best desperate voice. "Harley Quinn is off the rails. She killed Blockbuster." Waller's going to say, "Get me Blockbuster's vitals." We're going to see Assistant 1 say, "Blockbuster is KIA, Miss Waller. We still have no signal from his implant." "We have no signal from his implant." Waller's going to try to channel him to Harley. Harley, respond immediately. I'm warning you, I will detonate your bomb." Of course, Harley can't hear because her earpiece has been destroyed. We're going to cut back to the Blockbuster. Harley's going to be begging, "Please, Frosty, you don't have to do this. We used to be friends, remember? Us girls stuck up for each other, Belle Reve." Killer Frost is going to say, "I'm not going back to that prison. I don't care who I have to kill. If it means anything, it isn't personal. As long as this squad loses, I'm safe." She's also unaware that the Superman and the Justice League have appeared to kill her ticket out. We cut around back and see that Harley is slowly reaching for a knife that's worked into the back of her outfit. Waller's going to say, "That's it. Key." Her assistant's going to hand her the key. She's going to open up the bomb box. She flips the metal switch and hovers over the red button. Waller's going to tap into her comms again. "To tell you the truth, Harley, I've wanted to do this ever since you deserted in Corto Maltese. Thanks for the excuse." She's going to press the bomb button. We're going to cut back to Harley Quinn and hold on her wincing. Her bomb never goes off. Killer Frost looks confused. Behind her we see a dark shape rise from the ground. "Blockbuster!" Killer Frost tries to react, but it's too late. Blockbuster slaps his hands together like this, and Killer Frost's head is like completely crushed like a grate. We'll see Blockbuster kind of do this to get the gore off his hands. Harley's gonna say, "Blockbuster, you're alive!" And he's just gonna go, "Blockbuster." So Blockbuster, in my version, I said was like super strong. I don't think Killer Frost freezing his head would actually kill him. So in my version, he's just kind of fine. He just kind of walked it off. We're going to cut back to the main mall area. And we'll see text that says 5 minutes ago, keeping the theme from the Suicide Squad where they played with time a little bit. We're going to see Clock King talking to Jog and Harley Quinn where we left them. Let's go, Task Force X. Jog's going to say, fuck me. He vanishes in a burst of speed. He finds the Flash killing cult members. Jog runs up and hits him in the face. The Flash turns and then vanishes, and we're going to start like a speedster chase. You've seen these in the Flash show. Jog is going to be doing his bursts of speed, barely keeping in front of the Flash. He's catching up with him every second. Then we're going to see Harley Quinn approach Wonder Woman. Harley Quinn's going to say, hey, bitch. And Wonder Woman's going to say, do I know you? Harley Quinn's going to say, people keep asking me that. You stole my man, asshole. Howl was mine. Wonder Woman is going to say, I don't know who you are, but no one talks to the Queen of Themyscira that way. Prepare to face your death. Wonder Woman walks towards Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn gives her a wry smile and starts to laugh. Sound waves surround her, and soon Wonder Woman is laughing too. Harley Quinn stops laughing, but Wonder Woman keeps laughing hysterically. What have you done to me? She says through laughter. Harley Quinn's going to say, just a bit of laughter. I'm going to give you a taste of the power you called weak. Harley Quinn starts to laugh harder, and the shockwaves surround Wonder Woman once more. Wonder Woman starts to laugh even harder. She falls to her knees. It starts off weak enough, but soon you find it becomes hard to do anything. Then you find you can't breathe anymore. You laugh until you asphyxiate. It's a terrible As she says that, Harley Quinn's head explodes in a burst of gore. For those of you who might be confused by this, when they blew up Harley Quinn's bomb, they blew up the wrong bomb. So that's a rip in peace for Harley Quinn, who was about to kick Wonder Woman's ass before they mislabeled her bomb. A little bit of a running joke, because we had two different Harley Quinns. This is too easy of a slam dunk, and so I put it in here. I think it's fairly funny. Blood is going to spray across Wonder Woman's face. She's going to stop laughing and stumble up. We're going to cut back to Clock King. He watches the two speedsters zip around the mall. He pulls out his pistol. We'll say it's like a Desert Eagle or something, I don't know. And he slides up his jacket, revealing all of his watches. We're going to see the hands of the clocks on his arms reflected in his eyes, recreating this outfit from the animated series. As he watches his watches and looks up at the fight. As he checks his watches and looks up at the fight, we'll hear Clock King mumbling to himself. If he's moving at Mach 3 and my bullet travels at 15,042 feet per second, it has to be, yes, there, I can do it. He steps up and everything goes into slow-mo for an extended sequence. We can hear the ticking of all of the clocks on his watch. We'll sort of incorporate them into the score. We cut to Jog and Flash and see each of their super footsteps in slow motion. We'll see the lightning curl off the Flash as well. In the background, we're going to see Harley Quinn's head explode in slow-mo, as well as the Superman fight just sort of happening. We'll see Clock King adjust the gun carefully. Sweat drips off his face in slow motion. Then he fires. We follow the bullet through all the chaos of the fight in slow motion until it blows the Flash's brains out. Perfectly timed shot. Which is completely in line with Clock King's powers. He has perfect timing. I personally believe he's the only man who could ever kill the Flash. So there you go. Jog looks back and lets out a cheer. Get fucked! He runs straight into Wonder Woman, who stepped back blindly trying to get the blood from her eyes. So as he looks back, he runs right into Wonder Woman as she stepped back because her head has exploded into her face. They both explode into a mess of gore. Clock King falls to his knees panting. We're going to see a brief shot of Boomerang watching all the Justice League members die. He's going to look both ways and then run away from the fight. I think this is also very in line with his character. We're going to cut to Dorothy. She's making her way through the mall trying to escape. Sergeant Stuffy, her stuffed teddy bear imaginary friend, appears on her shoulder. Sergeant Stuffy's going to say, "What the fuck was that, Dorothy?" Dorothy's going to say, "Don't use curse words." Sergeant Stuffy's going to say, "You just left your team back there. Never leave a man behind. That's the rules of war." Dorothy's going to say, "They told me to go. Besides, what can I do?" Sergeant Stuffy's going to say, "It doesn't matter what you can do. You don't leave others behind. Your parents left you behind, Dorothy. How did that feel?" Dorothy's going to ask, "What am I supposed to do against that?" Sergeant Stuffy's going to say, "There's only one thing you can do. You could let out Candlemaker." We're going to cut to Superman and Metallo's fight. Superman punches Metallo, throwing him back into the machine. It's broken apart and crashes to the floor, the machine being the portal, by the way. Metallo quickly opens his chest, weakening Superman. Metallo hits him with a laser. He's going to say, "I've trained my whole life to beat you, Man of Steel. Today is my day." Superman's going to say, "No, it isn't. You didn't even notice." Superman pulls out a piece of rebar from the rubber and throws it like a spear. It's going to strike Metallo right in the chest and rip through him. It's going to come out the other side with his kryptonite heart in tow, and it's going to stick into the wall and fall to the floor. Metallo's going to fall to the ground dead. Superman's going to say, I was just weakening your armor. We're going to cut to Acid in the burger joint. We see Green Lantern check behind the counter. He sees that Acid isn't there. Green Lantern's going to say, just come out. I know you're out of tricks. Let's just end this. We're going to see Acid resting his head off the wall in the kitchen. His acid launchers are now filled with mustard and ketchup. Acid's going to say, let's. He steps out and starts firing condiments at Green Lantern. Surprisingly, Lantern's shield falls away wherever the mustard lands. He's going to yell, Yellow! How did you know my weakness? Acid's going to say, what? Are you fucking with me? He's going to look genuinely confused. Lantern's going to fall to the ground. Acid's going to keep spraying him until his armor completely falls away. Almost as soon as the last of the green armor vanishes, we see a fist launch through Lantern's chest. His heart is grasped inside of the hand. We'll say it's still pumping like a cartoon. Lantern's going to fall over dead, and we'll see Flatline covered in blood. She's clearly very hurt and stumbles to the ground. Acid rushes over to her and looks at her wounds and grimaces. He says, it's bad. So Flatline finally gets to rip someone's heart out. It's the one thing they say she does in the comic books. She talks about it in this script several times, and now we finally get to see it. And she gets to rip out none other than Hal Jordan's heart. As Acid rushes over, I forgot to mention this in the script, but I'll say it here. The ring is going to fly off Hal Jordan's finger and just sort of zip away, as happens whenever a Lantern dies. Acid's going to say, it's bad. And Flatline's going to say, I know. Hey, if that asshole Sportsmaster is still alive, tell him I totally ripped a guy's heart out. Acid's going to say, I will. But you can tell him yourself. I'm going to get you out of here. Flatline's going to say, no. They need you out there. That little girl needs you. It's okay. I've seen the other side. It's not that bad. Acid's going to say, you're a good kid. And Flatline's going to say, I'm not a kid. Did you get my iPod? It's in my pocket. Acid's going to reach into her pocket and grab it. She's been using this to listen to music this whole time. He hands it to her. She puts in the headphones. She's going to say, thanks. Now get out of here. We see Acid leave, and then we watch Flatline pick a song. Last Summer Whisper by Anne Ree starts to play, another one of her Japanese city pop music. And we're going to slowly pan up from her bloody body. And then when we reach the roof, we're going to cut to Waller. Assistant 1, her first assistant on the floor, is going to say, we got KIA readouts on Harley and Frost. Looks like Ten-Eyed Man, Metallo, and Jog are all KIA. We've got low vitals for Flatline. Waller's going to say, what the fuck is happening in there? I need eyes, damn it. Her second assistant's going to say, we're working on it. Most comms are still down. We've got massive interference around the whole building. Well, work fucking faster. I need it 10 minutes ago. We're going to cut to the mall. We'll see Dorothy walk up to the upper levels of the mall. So if you can imagine this, I should have probably explained this early on. The mall has got the big center foyer, and then it's got upper floors and balconies with stores up there. Dorothy is on one of the upper floors. She's going to watch as Superman kills Metallo, and he's going to look up and notice her. Dorothy's going to say, Candlemaker, I need you. She's going to thrust her hands out, and wax is going to drip from them as Candlemaker begins to form on the floor below. We'll hear him yell, Superman. Everyone seems to be yelling that today. Evil Superman and him are going to fight, and Superman's going to quickly smack him away to the ground. And then he's going to blast him with his laser eyes until Candlemaker starts to melt into a pile of wax. He's going to be just like a formless puddle. I'm going to say this fight is very fast. Superman easily kicks Candlemaker's ass. Superman's going to turn his attention back to Dorothy. She steps back from the railing in terror. The Man of Steel shows no mercy. He floats up until he's eye level with her, and his eyes begin to glow with a hateful red. Dorothy starts sobbing, and we're reminded that, she's just a kid, man. She's like a little kid, and she's in this really fucked up situation. And just as the laser's about to fire, a piece of rubble hits Superman in the side of the head, making him miss. The Man of Steel turns to see who would dare face him. We'll say a heroic version of the Suicide Squad theme swells up as we see Acid heroically standing, covered in Lantern's blood. In his hand, he holds his ketchup and mustard blaster. Acid's going to say, asshole, fight someone your own age. Superman's going to say, I thought I sent the Lantern to kill you. Acid's going to say, I killed your Lantern. Superman's going to say, oh well, the ring will pick another, and you won't be alive to kill the next. Acid's going to say, you don't scare me. You're nothing compared to what I've seen. Superman's going to smile and say, you remind me of that bat in Gotham. He was strong-willed too, but he died like the rest. Who are you to stand up to me? Acid's gonna say, I am the Condiment King, like really triumphantly. He's gonna rush forward and like squirt his bottle of ketchup. It's gonna hit Superman's suit and do nothing. The Man of Steel is gonna smirk, then swoop down in a blur of motion. He's gonna grab Condiment King rough by the neck and hoist him up. Anger's gonna fill Condiment King. You can see it in his face. It's all the frustration from men like this who have bullied him his whole life, men like Falcone and the other criminals who made fun of him. It's about time one of them knows what it's like to lose. We're going to pan around Condiment King for the first time. We're going to realize that he's got a piece of kryptonite hidden in his left hand. The piece that was blown out of the back of Metallo. We can hear Condiment King struggle to breathe as he fights for his life as Superman crushes his windpipe. Superman's going to laugh. It always goes this way. You talk a big game. You act so heroic. But when the time comes for action, you can't save anyone. What a joke. We can see the hatred burn in Condiment's eyes. His whole life he's been called a joke. In his last act of defiance, he spits in Superman's face. At the same time, he swings the kryptonite with all of his might, right for the heart of his enemy. But Superman catches his arm and breaks it in two. We see his bone and hear him scream. The kryptonite falls to the floor. Superman tosses Condiment King like a doll. He lands against the upper wall behind Dorothy with a crack and a thump. We can see that the wall is kind of cracked. He hit so hard. We see him slump down, barely breathing. Superman's gonna kind of cackle. Weak and predictable. Even behind your back, I could feel its pull. He turns and disintegrates the kryptonite with his laser eyes. We're gonna cut to Acid slumped against the wall. Blood runs from his nose and mouth. He looks up weakly and sees Dorothy. She's crying with her head in her lap. She's flanked on either side by a man and a woman. They whisper to her. Her fake mother says, "It's okay, you'll be fine." And her fake father says, "Your mother's right. Candlemaker will take care of it." Dorothy looks up and notices Acid for the first time. She yelps with surprise and the two people vanish. Dorothy's gonna say, "You're hurt." And Acid's gonna say, "A bit. I think my back is broken." Who were they? Dorothy's gonna reply, "My parents. Or at least, how I imagined them. I never knew them." Acid's gonna say, "You look just like my daughter. I couldn't save her, but I can save you. Listen, Dorothy. He won't stop unless we stop him." Dorothy's gonna say, "He defeated Candlemaker. I saw it. How am I supposed to defeat him?" And Acid's gonna reply, "Candlemaker is imaginary. He can be whatever you want him to be, whatever you need him to be." Dorothy's gonna say, "I've never been strong enough to control him. He's too powerful." And Acid's gonna say, "You can do it. He can't hurt you if you don't let him. You're in control, not him." Dorothy's gonna still be unsure, but she's gonna say, "I'll try." Before she stands, she tells him that he's a good man, which is something he grappled with and said that he was a bad man in the sewers, something she heard him say, so it's just a sweet moment between them. Dorothy's gonna step up to the balcony. "Candlemaker, hear me. I need you." We'll cut to the pile of wax as it begins to stir. A claw reaches out of it and scratches across the floor as Candlemaker pulls himself back together. We see Superman turn and look at her. "You again." He flies towards her, but Candlemaker hits him, knocking him aside. Superman begins to shoot lasers at Candlemaker. His wax begins to melt away again. Dorothy stands tall and shuts her eyes in concentration. "The Candlemaker is evil," she shouts. "He's a monster. His skin is as strong as steel." We see Candlemaker move against the laser blast. It's no longer melting him away, and his claws are as long as cars. We see Candlemaker's claws grow until they're massive. He swipes at Superman, but they harmlessly graze off him. Dorothy says, "And they're made of kryptonite." We see Candlemaker's claws glow a bright green. This time they leave long gashes across Superman's chest. Superman cries out in pain and surprise. "That's impossible," he says. He looks up and tries to fly away. Dorothy yells, "He's as tall as a mountain." Candlemaker grows massive, smashing through the roof of the mall. He snags Superman out of the air and rips him apart with his claws. We see Superman's body fall to the floor. We're going to cut to Belle Reve for a second. Assistant 2's going to say, "We've got visuals." And we'll see Diebeard, I forget his real name, so I'm just going to call him Diebeard, from Peacemaker. And he's going to walk into the room with a donut just in time to see Candlemaker smash the roof. He's going to say, "Holy fuck, it's another kaiju," as a callback to the last movie, which also had a giant monster smashing through a roof. We'll see Candlemaker shrink down slightly. He turns towards Dorothy and yells, "Dorothy, who did you tell?" The thing he says earlier in the script. Dorothy's gonna stand tall and say, "Most importantly, he obeys me." Candlemaker swipes a claw at her, but stops before hitting her. He lets out a hellish shriek. Dorothy's gonna yell, "Go away, Candlemaker!" And we'll see him, like, let out a cry of anguish before he vanishes. Dorothy's gonna excitedly turn to Acid. "I did it!" But as she turns to look at him, we can tell he's already dead. His injuries were just too much and he died. Dorothy's gonna say, "Mister?" She sits next to him and holds his hand, but he doesn't reply. She's gonna start to cry, and we're gonna fade to black. When we fade in, we're gonna see the police and like the FBI and everyone just arriving on the scene immediately. They've all been on the outskirts of the town waiting for their opportunity, and now they have it. We follow paramedics checking on the dead and injured as the song "A Beautiful Crime" by Tamer plays. This is a really nice song, and it's not got too many views, so I recommend listening to it. It's pretty good. It's on the playlist with the rest of the music from the script. We see that Flatline is still alive. The paramedics check her pulse, and they're like, she's still alive, and they put her on a rack and carry her out. We'll say that the paramedics find Acid and Dorothy. They're going to put Acid on a rack and cover his body with a white cloth, as they do. Dorothy's going to leave the mall and find the rest of the surviving squad. She's going to walk up to them, and we're going to see Sportsmaster, who leans against the wall. He kind of got lucky. He missed all of this big fuck up in the middle area because he was too busy fighting Mono in the previous scene. Dorothy's going to say, "They all died." And Sportsmaster's going to say, "That's how this goes, kid." She's going to ask him what happens now, and Sportsmaster's going to say, "We go back." Dorothy's going to ask him why he does this. And he'll tell her for the first time. We're going to have Sportsmaster get a little human moment. As is canon to the comic books and to the Teen Titans show, he's going to say, "I've got a kid. This is the only way I'll ever get to see her again. I've done a lot of bad shit in my time, but she's the best thing I ever did." Dorothy's going to say, "You never told us you had a kid." And Sportsmaster's going to say, "What's the point of telling a bunch of corpses? I've done this enough to know where it gets you. Nowhere. Look, kid, get out while you can. I saw your file. 10 years off your sentence was enough. You're done. Free. Don't wind up back here." Dorothy's going to tell him that Candlemaker won't hurt anyone again, and that she won't ever come back. She'll ask him how much longer he has. And he'll say, sort of melancholy, "I don't know. I think I gotta do 4 more of these. I bet I won't live that long." He kind of laughs to himself. He's going to get up and walk away. We're going to cut to Harley and Blockbuster walking through the mall. They have not been found yet by anyone, and as far as everyone knows, they're dead. Harley's going to say, "I'm telling you, I really think they went the other way." Blockbuster's going to say, "Blockbuster." Harley's going to say, "Well, you do sound confident." Okay. You're going to turn the corner and bump into Boomerang, who's in the middle of stealing shit and running away, as we saw him last time. He's going to say, "Harley!" And she's going to say, "Boomer, I thought you were dead." We see Boomerang stop and weigh his options. He's thinking, I could tell her the truth, or, and he decides to lie. He says, "Boomerangs always come back." And Harley's going to excitedly say, "They do. I'm glad you did." Blockbuster's going to yell out, "Blockbuster," and Boomerang's going to say, "I still can't understand him." And Harley says, "I think he says we got to go. Waller thinks I'm dead, so I'm out of here. She thinks he's dead too. And I guess you're dead?" And then she's going to say, "So, you want to come?" Boomerang's going to say, "Why not?" And they all walk off. I kind of like that there's one common theme at the end of every Suicide Squad movie, which is that Harley gets away. It's a little contrived, but I kind of wanted Harley to escape at the end of this movie just because it's funny. It's just amusing to me that the stupidest, most moronic character just escapes every time without fail. Like, of all of them. And this was a nice way to bring back Boomerang. Really, I went into the script trying to think of a way to bring back Boomerang because I like that character, and I think it was kind of sad they killed him off. But, oh well. I did it. We're going to cut to the helicopter inside of it, and we're going to see Clock King, Sportsmaster, and Dorothy, the only 3 known survivors of this entire movie. And they're going to be flying back to Belle Reve. We're going to hear the song "Up to No Good" by the Hosers play. When we pan around and look at them all, they're all kind of torn up and sad. Clock King is just checking his watch and trying to figure out how fast the plane is flying, doing his thing. Sportsmaster is just going to be looking melancholy out the window. And of course, Dorothy is surrounded by her imaginary mother. She's leaning against her shoulder. And to her right, we see her imaginary father. Only it's not the same man from before. Now it's Acid. And we're going to end the movie on that. A sweet little moment, because the theme of my movie, as I said in the beginning when I was describing it, is parenthood and fatherhood. It was the theme I went in. I wanted to deal with characters sort of learning to come to terms with being a father, being a parent. And so yeah, there we go. Of course, Dorothy sort of becomes the main character at the end of this movie because she is symbolic of the daughter of several of these characters.
Final kill count is very, very high. Almost every character introduced at the beginning is dead. Who we've got left is Clock King, Sportsmaster, Dorothy Spinner, who's now getting out of prison. So if I ever write a sequel to this movie, she probably won't be involved. Flatline is also alive. We've got Harlequin, Blockbuster, and I guess Captain Boomerang is a +1. A nice surprise. And that's really all we've got left. So I even I went the extra step. This is a DC movie, and they always do after credit scenes. And the Suicide Squad had a couple of them, and they sort of fit a theme. So the first one was funny, and the next two set up sequels and things. So my first one is going to be the funny one. We're going to see Green Lantern's ring pick Kite Man in Belle Reve, and he's going to use it to make a giant energy kite and escape from prison. I think this is funny as fuck. We set up Kite Man at the beginning of the movie. We have this Green Lantern ring flying around, and so that's how we're going to reincorporate it. In the next scene, we're going to see that Amanda Waller has terminal cancer. She'll get a terminal cancer. This could be a reference to that. I think it was an anime movie. I don't know if it was a comic book storyline. I can't remember for the life of me, but the Hell to Pay storyline. Which I might do for my next movie, potentially, wink wink intent. And then for our very, very last after credits scene, we see that Calculator is still alive and that he's escaped the cult. I never told you what happened to him. He kind of gets away. He's approached by a mysterious person who asks him if he believes in magic. We can't see who it is because they're wearing a cloak, and that's going to be the end of that. So who knows? I might revisit this sometime. It will probably not be for a while. If I come up with another idea for a movie, I'll write a sequel to this. I am starting another writing project where I write a script. Instead of a movie, this time I'm writing a TV series based off of the thing I would choose. If I could adapt anything in the world, this would be the thing I would make into a TV show or a movie. And I'm not going to say what it is here, but I'll have that video out pretty soon, maybe next week even. I've already started writing it. And so that's going to be the next thing I'm going to do on my channel. I've decided to postpone my Wheel of Time video because there's a lot of news coming out about the next season of Wheel of Time, and I kind of want to incorporate some of that news into the video. So I'm going to give it like a month or two before I keep working on that, just to see what develops in that time. Yeah, so you can expect the next writing project video, and that'll be a pretty long one since it's going to be episodes instead of a movie. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If y'all would have done anything different or have any thoughts on the movie, let me know in the comments. I'll reply to whoever is down there, assuming it doesn't get a crazy amount of comments. Thanks for watching.